for this part of the video, I'm going to do a bit of a, I guess, live action commentary of what I'm doing. So obviously we're doing this in the dark. It shouldn't be too bad because most of it's inside and I've got the work light, which should do the job. And what I'll do is I'll talk about what I'm doing through each step of the process. Then we'll speed it up a bit so you don't have to spend this in real time. And just to give you an idea of how I'm fitting these windows here. So I actually, last night I pre-cut the flashing tape. I got the 2 corner pieces. I put the end caps on the sills ready to be cut. And I've got everything in position. So the first thing I actually need to do is to cut the Tyvek sheeting. So I'll do that, and then once I've done that I can put the wrap in place. So I've got this cut back now, and we just need to flash the corners. So I'm using this flex wrap tape. Now this stuff is super sticky. If you get it stuck to itself, it's never coming back. So you just need to be a bit careful. The backing paper is split into 2, so you can release it on there. Just need to line that up with the outside of the building. Fairly central. And just use my finger there to line it up. Often best with this stuff to work from the middle to avoid creases, things like that. And we can pull off the other bit of backing. And we can begin to fold it around. So this stuff you're able to work around the corners, just getting into position like so. And then just to really make sure it's stuck, I like to give it a bit of a roll. Allows you to get a bit good pressure on it, especially as it's a bit cold. A nice warm summer's day, that's probably stick like anything. And there we go, just really making sure that's going to measure the sill. So I've got this flashing tape does add quite a bit of thickness to the so it's good just to re-measure it rather than assume your measurements. So you probably want to take about 6mm off, so you've got a bit of expansion gap either side. So I'll cut the sill here to that. What I've selected to do is to have a 70mm overhang here on the sill, so it's 180mm sill, got a 70mm overhang, so I'll cut 110mm out and then centre up on the 170 centimetres across the sill, so then it will fit in. We've got a slight overhang at the edge, and then we've got that overhang which will go over the cladding and give you a little bit of overhang and drip off the sill itself. So we've got that into the windowsill now, and so we just need to check it for level. That's actually pretty good to start with. Okay. Pretty happy with that as it is, actually. So normally you would, if it was out of level, then you could put packers in underneath, just to level out, make sure you've got a good flat sill. But in this case I've not needed to, which is good. So just grab my sealant. Just pop an ice. Gob of sealant down just to hold it in place. So now I've got the window, and this is in the orientation that it will be installed into the frame from this side. And what we have to do is take out the beads. Now it's quite important to make sure you get the beads back in the right place, in the same place where you put them. So it can be just handy to actually pop them out, just to lay them on the floor in the orientation they came, or you can obviously label them with masking tape or something if you don't have the floor space to do this. Okay, so now the window is ready to go in place. It's good to get your packers out, make sure you've got those to hand just before you put it in, and your screws and your screwdriver, make sure, and your drill, make sure all those bits and pieces are ready. So I'll do that now, and then I'll show you putting the window in. So I've got everything nicely to hand and window frames in place. I've also checked that I can open the window, and I've got a level, etc, etc. So now ready to put the window into place. So the idea with the packers is to get it reasonably snug, but not like super tight, so that it's like bending the frame in. There, just so as you screw the frame into the rough opening, it stops the frame from flexing outwards. So it just gives it that extra bit of support when you do that. So yeah, like snug but not super tight. Okay, now for these I'll have to open the window. There we go. Just going to double check nothing has moved. Yep, looks okay. So drill through where you want the screws. Pop some silicone in. So what we want is tight, but not to deflect the frame itself. Now on this window it's fairly obvious which way up it goes because it's top hung, but obviously if it was side hung maybe you could get it upside down. It's important that you notice the drainage channels at the bottom of the window. They allow water out of the frame should you get any in there, so that's important. So in this one we've got trickle vents at the top. So that wasn't so obvious on the fixed windows, and I had to double check that. So yeah, let's go around, screw it in, just keep checking that things are plumb and where you need them to be. So I'm going to put, I think, 2 screws in the side here and there, got 2 in the bottom, put 2 in the bottom of this one, and then I'll have a think whether I do 1 or 2 in the top. Yeah, so simply just screw it in, and then after that we'll do the glass. ready for the glazing. First thing we need to do is just put the initial set of packers in. Two at the bottom, over those locking points. This makes it harder to move the frame up against the glass. And then a couple up there and then a couple each side. So we'll just stick those in place. My glass is actually sided, so it's got a marking aside that says to put it this way. So right, now I want bottom bead first. So you usually start with the shortest bead, but these windows are almost square, so it makes almost no difference. Make sure you're getting the bead back in the same place that it came out of. Designed to go in really tight to get that real good seal, so to get a good tap. So there we have it. Got the glass in both sides. It opens nicely. Just need to get the trickle vents in and foam around the outside.